So we are considering a ferromagnetic material or ferrimagnetic material, and here we mentioned example here iron here regarding this as a nickel. And first of all, we are going to magnetize the particular material, whatever the thing we are considering here. And now here what we are going to do? Can you give the other points? So we got a material here, and at the center, we are going to fix this one. Okay, any other points? Okay, now here let us see. So this was the text that we are going to write. So this was the circuit. So you can identify here, this is the rod, here. So this is the rod, okay. Now here we are going to connect the coils. This is a winding or a coil here, and this is one more coil, okay. Now here we are labeling this as L1, this one as L2. And thereafter we are going to construct a oscillator. We are going to construct a oscillator. Oscillator we are going to construct. Now what is the purpose of this oscillator means, if I ask a question, what is the purpose means, it is going to generate, it is going to generate alternating voltages or alternating currents, okay, with a variable frequency. Variable frequency. What is the meaning here? You are going to get a alternating current in the sense, if you refer to the circuit here, if you refer to this, so initially you are going to give the battery or the DC source. You are giving the DC source, and as a result of this particular circuit, you are going to get the AC current. AC current means alternating current. Okay, that we had seen in the previous explanations. If this is the diagram for the DC current, let's take this as a DC current here. This is a DC current here. Some whatever may be the value. Now regarding the alternating currents, what you can expect here, this particular value, okay, this is the highest value here. If you take this as 5 amps, okay, not exactly 5 amps, just for the example I am considering. So if this is 5 amps, so this is a DC current here. Consider this as a DC current here. DC current. Now if you want to get the AC current, okay, now here this particular value here, it is starting with the highest value, okay, it is starting at the 5 amps value here. But in case of AC, it will start with 0 and it will reach the maximum value 5 amps, and afterwards it will come to again 0, and in the other side, other direction, it will come back to the negative 5 amps value, negative 5 amps value, okay, and it will continue like this. It will continue throughout the application. It will be continuing like this. So you are going to get the alternate positive and negative cycles, okay. So that is the thing we are going to create here. So initially we started with the DC, and we are going to generate this particular AC here, okay. So the circuit we are considering it as a oscillator, because it is oscillating between 0 to 5, or else 0 to -5, okay. So these oscillations will be going on. So simply you can take this as it is going to oscillate between 5 amps and -5 amps in this particular example. So it is going to oscillate between these two values, +5 and -5, okay. So that is the concept here. It is going to be considered as an oscillator. It is going to give the alternating currents with a variable frequency. You can change the frequency here. Suppose what if you can have the explanation of the frequency. Now regarding the frequency, if this is 1 second time, if you take this as a 1 second time, now within this 1 second, suppose if you got only one full cycle like this, we consider this as a 1 hertz, okay. Now within the same 1 second time, now suppose if you got some 3 full cycles, 1, 2, 3, okay, then the frequency will be 3 hertz, okay. Similarly here, within the second time, you can generate the frequencies as per your requirements. You can generate as per your requirements. So this is a variation of the frequency. So how you are going to vary that particular frequency means you are going to change the capacitor value. This is a variable capacitor. So by changing the capacitor value, increasing or decreasing, you can change the frequency. Okay, that we had explained in the previous class. Okay, now let us go here. So here this is a coil, and basing on this, the circuit you can identify here. So you are going to place the capacitor. So this is a variable means you will have a arrow mark. So if a arrow mark is there means it is a variable capacitor. So the value of this can be changed. Now here we are going to connect this one to a transistor. Okay, and you can identify here this is the base of the transistor, this is the collector, and this is the emitter. So write this as small c here, small c. Okay, so base, emitter, collector. So this is a transistor. Okay, now here the base of this is going to be connected like this to the coil number 1, and meanwhile you will connect this one to emitter. Okay, and in between if you want you can place a switch also. If you want you can place a switch, and here this is a DC source, and here it is going to be connected, and we will consider this as the ground. G and D ins, it is a ground here. Okay, so here this is a battery. If you want you can take this as EBB, and you can have this as a switch here. So this is a ammeter, and the values will be in terms of milliamperes, so you can mark this as a milliammeter here. Okay, so this is the circuit here. So this is going to create the oscillations. This particular circuit is going to create the variable currents here. Now as the variable currents are flowing through the coil L2, okay, so there will be a variable magnetic field. Surrounding this you will get a variable magnetic field. Magnetic field will be generated. Is generated. Okay, now due to this again the current flow will be there, so due to mutual induction here. Okay, now here you can also expect the current flow and the magnetic field will be there, and due to this particular variable magnetic fields, this permanently magnetized material, the rod is there, which is a R here, we are indicating this as R. So this particular rod is going to vibrate. Okay, now here if you can identify, these are the vibrations you can experience. So it is going to vibrate in both these directions like this, either this direction or this direction. Suppose if it is enlarging means, if it is enlarging, you will consider these arrow marks. Okay, if it is compressing means you consider these arrow marks. Okay, so increase in the length and decrease in the length. So those are the two arrow marks you need to consider. So now here what is the concept here? If you are placing the permanently magnetized material inside this particular variable uh, high frequency magnetic fields, this is going to vibrate, and these vibrations will be in the range of ultrasonic sounds. Okay, so that is the reason we are going to get the ultrasonics from this particular circuit. Okay, so that we had explained in the yesterday's class. Okay, now let us go with the second method. Let us go with the second method, piezoelectric method. Okay, now here first you need to understand the meaning of this. So this is the meaning of the piezo. Okay, pressure is the meaning of piezo, and due to the application of the pressure, you are going to experience the electric field. Electric field will be generated. Will be generated. Okay, now what actually the concept means? If you are going to take certain crystals, suppose here this is a crystal. Now here a crystal we call this as a quartz, QUARTZ. Okay, now on the quartz crystal, suppose if this is a top face and this is the bottom face. If you try to apply the pressure on top and bottom, okay, if you apply the pressure on the top face and the bottom face, due to that, what you are going to experience here, if you consider the the front face here, the front face here, and back side, back face. Now here you are going to experience certain charges. There will be charge generation on the opposite faces here. Consider this is the back face here. This is the back face, not on the top. Okay. So you are going to have the charge creation here due to the application of pressure. So that is the thing here. By means of pressure, you are going to get the electric field. So we consider this as a piezoelectric method here. Piezoelectric effect actually. Okay, we consider this as a piezoelectric effect. Piezoelectric effect. Okay, now how can you define the piezoelectric effect? So now we are not starting the piezoelectric method here. Okay, first of all we are defining what is the meaning of piezoelectric effect. So what is the meaning of piezoelectric effect means by applying the pressure on the opposite faces here, we are going to experience a current or a potential difference on the opposite faces perpendicular to this direction. Okay. So what is the meaning here? By means of pressure, okay, we are going to get the electric field. So that particular effect we are considering it as a piezoelectric effect. Now here this concept we are going to utilize, and how we are going to utilize that we are going to see now. Okay, so we know what is the meaning of piezoelectric effect. Now we are going to do one thing here. So let us repeat here. First of all, we are applying the pressure. We are applying a pressure here. Okay, we are applying a pressure, and due to that we are going to get the electric field. We are going to get the electric field. Now here, what is the concept that is to be utilized in the ultrasonic generation? To generate ultrasonics, okay, what we are going to see here. Okay, to generate ultrasonics, what we are going to see. So we are going to see the concept in the reverse form. In the reverse form, we are going to see, or we are going to apply here. Now, what is the thing you need to consider here? First of all, you consider the actual process. By applying pressure, you are getting the electric field. Now, can anyone give me the reverse of this? What is the inverse process? What is the inverse process? What you can understand? So in this particular process, what I was explaining here, by applying a pressure on the crystal, you are going to get the electric field. Now, what is the inverse process of this? Can anyone explain this? What is the meaning of inverse of piezoelectric effect? Okay, any answers from your side? Okay, now let me do one thing. So here, let us understand this concept once again. So here, this is a crystal, what we had considered here. Okay, this is a crystal, and what we had considered on the top face and on the bottom face. We are applying the pressure here. Okay, consider P as a pressure here. Okay, due to that, what you are going to experience? You are going to experience certain charges are developing on the front and back faces. Front and back faces here. Okay, so the perpendicular direction, perpendicular to the pressure, you are going to get the charge creation. So this is actually the piezoelectric effect. Now what I am saying, what is the reverse process? What is the inverse process? That is the question I am asking. So for that one, what you are going to do? You will take the same crystal here. You will take the same crystal. Okay. Now inverse process in the sense, you will apply the magnetic field, the electric field here. You are going to give the electric field. Okay, you are going to apply the electric field. So there will be a current flow here due to this. And now, what are the phases you are considering? This side and this side. Okay. Now you are going to experience. Let us consider the crystal is going to vibrate in this direction, front side, front face and the back face. Okay, it is going to experience the vibrations. Nothing but the stress and strain concept will be experienced by this particular crystal due to the application of the electric field. So now how can you explain the inverse process? Means by applying the electric fields, okay, by applying the electric fields, this crystal is going to vibrate. Okay, so that is the inverse process or converse of piezoelectric effect. You can consider it as a converse or else inverse. Okay, inverse piezoelectric effect, okay, is going to generate the ultrasonic waves. Okay, so that is a process we are going to see. So now what we are going to do, we will take a piezoelectric crystal. Okay, we will take a crystal and we will place under a variable electric field. Okay, that we are going to do. So this is a crystal here. Now this is a plate, upper plate and the bottom plate here. Now between these two plates we are going to place the crystal here, and now these two plates are going to be connected to the variable or varying electric fields. Okay, so how we are going to get the varying electric fields? So in this particular first method what we had seen, we are going to create the variable currents. We are getting the variable currents by means of this oscillator. Now similarly here we are going to get the variable electric fields by means of a oscillator here. Now how can you consider the circuit? For that one, let us consider, okay, now let me go with this. Okay, now let us see here. So this is a circuit we are going to construct. So this is a circuit we are going to construct here. So this is a crystal, this is a crystal here. Now these are the two plates. Okay, now consider these as the electrodes. So by means of these two electrodes, the supply will be flowing here. So now here this is a transformer, this is a transformer here. So T stands for the transformer here. So this is a mutual induction here, mutual induction. So this is coil and these two are also coils here. Okay, now here this is a transistor here, and we are going to consider this as an oscillator. This is going to oscillate. And previously we had seen a positive feedback circuit is there. So now here this L2 is going to act as a positive feedback circuit. Okay, this is a switch here, this is a battery. So you are starting with the DC source. Okay, now by means of this particular oscillator and the positive feedback here, we are going to get the alternating voltages in this coil number 3. Okay, now let us understand what is the concept going on. Okay, this is a circuit here. Now first of all we will start with this part. Okay, now let us see here. We will start with the crystal here. First of all let us understand what is the crystal here. Now regarding crystal, okay, now here this is a hexagonal crystal here actually. So you will have the hexagonal structure will be like this. So here this is a top face and here this is a bottom face, and here the crystal, if you are going to draw the crystal, it will be like this. Okay, somewhat like this here, and here this is joined, and again you can experience the crystal will be like this. Okay, so this is the actual crystal, and here the dotted line, if you can identify this dotted line, we are going to consider this as the z-axis. Consider this as the z-axis. Okay, Now here, this z-axis is known as, if you can refer to this, we consider this as a optic axis. The question I am going to give to you, what is the meaning of optic axis, that you need to find and try to answer in the next class. So the z-axis is considered as the optic axis. The question is, what is the meaning of optic axis? You try to find and try to give the answer in the next class. Okay, now here this is a z-axis here. Now what we are going to do, this crystal we are going to cut into small pieces here, thin pieces. So here if you can identify, so this is going to explain certain few more points here. Now let us see here. Now the entire crystal I had shown here, the entire crystal I had shown. So this particular dotted line, it is a z-axis here, and we consider the z-axis as the optic axis. So you need to answer by referring what is the meaning of optic axis. Okay. Now answer is there in this particular
Sir,
diagram. Cheppandi.
optical axis అన్న అన్న ఒకటేనా సార్ అవి?
Optics axis. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now here, now let us see here. So we are going to cut the crystal. We will cut the crystal in two different ways. So there are two possibilities. We can consider this as X cut crystal. Okay. Or else you can cut the crystal in the form of Y cut crystal. Okay. X cut and Y cut. Now we need to understand what is X cut and what is Y cut. Now for that one, let us take a slice here, the slice of the crystal here. Consider this as a slice of crystal. Okay. Now these are two, one, two, three, four, five, six. Six faces are there. Okay. So we can consider this as a hexagonal crystal here. Now these two faces. Okay. Now if you draw a line like this, we consider this as a y-axis. Consider this as a y-axis here. Now here the ends here, the corners, if you join like this, consider this as the x-axis here. Consider it as the x-axis here. Now here, how many x-axis and how many y-axis we can find means, if you can identify here. So this is one more, if you can draw exactly, if you draw the exact line here. So this goes like this. Okay, this is one more y-axis here, and here this corner is going to create one x-axis here, and this particular direction is going to give one more y-axis, and this is going to give one more x-axis here. Okay, totally you will get three x-axis and three y-axis. Okay, three y-axis. Okay, now if you want you can label those things. Okay, now let me redraw the diagram. Okay, the same diagram I'm going to redraw this. So how you start with this. Okay, start with this, and you point some points like this, and you join these points somewhat like this. Okay, now let us take a color here for y-axis, for y-axis here. So mark this as y1, y1 here, and let me go with the blue color. Join these two points, join these two. Let me do one thing. I will take a concept like this. Okay, now let us go here. Okay, so black color I need to take. Okay, now here we are going to mark y's first. Y. So these are the two faces. Okay, and these are the two faces, and these are the two faces. Okay, so you mark this as y1, y2, y3. Okay, so same this side also, y1, this as y2, this as y3. Okay, now you mark the x axis. Okay, so here this dot and this dot, so those are opposite. So you draw a straight line passing this particular pair, somewhat like this. Okay, later on you can draw exact diagram now between these two. between these two, and here one more pair is there between these two. Okay, so total 3 x related axes and 3 y related axes. Okay, so you mark this as x1, this as x2, this as x3. Now same the end of this, okay, mark this as x1 here. Now this as x2, and this is going to give x3. Okay, now what we are going to do means we are going to cut the crystal, okay, to get x cut crystal or y cut crystal. So how you are going to cut the crystal means, suppose if you want to get the x cut crystal, okay, let us go with the x cut crystal. X cut crystal. Try to identify here. Now here the crystal is like this. It is like this here. Okay. So the concept is, first of all we need to get the x cut crystal. So now here this is y. This is y. So now along y direction you make a cut here. If you make a cut like this, okay. Now perpendicular to the x-axis. Perpendicular to x-axis, if you cut the crystal, we will get the x cut crystal. Okay, so here if you can refer here, this is a y direction. So y direction is perpendicular to x. So perpendicular to x direction, if you cut the crystal, we will get the x cut crystal. Now perpendicular to y, if you cut the crystal, you will get the y cut crystal. So let us go with the y cut crystal. Okay, now if you want to get this crystal, first you draw the crystal completely here. Draw the crystal here. So what you want to get? You want to get the y cut. Y cut in the sense you have to cut in the perpendicular direction to the y axis. So this is the y axis here. So perpendicular in the sense it is a x. So along this particular x, if you cut the crystal like this, okay, then you are going to get the y cut crystal here. Okay, so you are having two possibilities to cut the crystal, either x cut crystal or y cut crystal. Okay, now the second question I am going to ask here. So what are the waves, what are the frequencies of the waves that are going to be generated by the x cut crystal, and what are the frequencies of the waves due to y cut crystal? Okay, the first question I had mentioned about the optic axis. Second question is what type of or what are the frequencies of these crystals? Okay, these crystals are going to generate. That is the second question here. So now let us go with the circuit here. Okay, so ఇక్కడ అర్థమైంది కదా. So you are having 3 y axis and 3 x axis. Okay, so to get the x cut crystal, you are going to cut the crystal perpendicular to the x axis, and to get the y cut crystal, you are going to cut the crystal perpendicular to the y axis. Okay, now you can take any one of the crystal, either x cut crystal or y cut crystal. So you will take a slice.
సార్
Okay, చెప్పండి.
ఎక్స్ కట్టి y2 x2 y3 x3 y1 సార్.
ఏంటది
y1 x3 y3 x2 y2.
ఇక్కడ ఈ పాయింట్సా? ఒకసారి రిపీట్ చేయి.
సార్ ఒకసారి డయాగ్రామ్ కిందకి రండి సార్.
కిందికి
y1 x3
పైకి మూవ్ చేయాలా?
ఓకే సార్. y1 సారీ సార్ y1 x3 y3 x2 y2.
ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం. అది ఎలా తీసుకున్నా నో ప్రాబ్లం. మీకు ఏంటంటే అక్కడ ఐడెంటిటీ రావాలి. టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ మీరు వేరే టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ రిఫర్ చేయండి, వేరే ఉండొచ్చు. అర్థమవుతుందా? టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్లలో మీకు ఏదైనా ఉండొచ్చు, ఎట్లయినా ఉండొచ్చు. కాకపోతే యూ నీడ్ టు ఫాలో దిస్ ప్రాసెస్. ఈ ప్రాసెస్లో యూ నీడ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై 3 ఎక్స్ యాక్సెస్ ఆర్ దేర్, 3 వై యాక్సెస్ ఆర్ దేర్. ఈ లేబులింగ్ 1 2 3 ఎట్లయినా మార్చుకోవచ్చు మీరు, నో ప్రాబ్లం అది. Okay, now let us go with the circuit here. So this part. Okay, now here first of all you identify the circuit here. You need to draw the transformer first you identify the transformer. Okay, now transformer will have primary, and secondary. Okay, try to identify where is primary and where is secondary. Okay, Now here, if you can refer to the diagram, okay, now this is a transformer in the middle. So now I'm going to draw the transformer here. So this is a transformer we are going to draw, and here this is a indication that this is a transformer mutually inducted, okay, and here these are the coils separated, okay. So now here this is a primary and this is a secondary, okay. Now we are going to connect the oscillator on the primary side, sorry, secondary side here. This is the oscillator, okay, and here the crystal is there. So we are going to get the vibrations this side here, okay. Depending on this concept, I am going to take, okay. Now let us go with the explanation here. So now here what you are going to do, you are going to place a variable capacitor, So this arrow mark is there means you can vary the value of the capacitor here. So this is capital C, okay. Now mark this as some L1 here, and here this as L2, this is L3. So these are the coils, okay. Coil 1 we are considering this as coil number 1, this as coil number 2, this as coil number 3, okay. Now here place the transistor, okay, transistor. Identify the terminals here. So this is the base, this is collector, write a small c here, this is the emitter here, okay. So this is a transistor, this is a transformer, capital T is a transformer here. So now you can join the, or you can form the circuit here. So this is connected to the base, and here this is going to be connected to the collector here. And here, depending on this, if you want, you can place a switch here, okay, to switch on and switch off. And here, this is going to be joined through the emitter, and here we are going to give the DC supply. This is a battery, okay. That is a circuit regarding this side here, okay. And consider as this is a negative, consider this is a ground here, consider this as a ground, this as a ground here. So positive terminal of the battery, negative terminal of the battery, this is a switch here, okay. So now here what we had considered, we are going to get a variable voltage generation through this particular circuit, okay. Here this should be there, okay. So we are going to get a variable concept here by means of this L1 and C, okay. So if you change the value of C, the frequency will be changed, okay. Now as this is mutually inducted to the primary side, so this particular thing is going to generate a variable voltage in the coil L3, okay. So this side it is going to be the EMF, electromotive force. Due to the electromotive force, we are going to get the variable voltages in the coil L3. Now here this is going to be connected to the crystal here, okay. We are going to place the X cut crystal or Y cut crystal here. A slice of the crystal we are going to place in between these two plates. These are the metallic plates here, okay. So this is the crystal, the quartz crystal we are considering as an example in this case, okay. So here now what we had considered here, what was the inverse piezoelectric effect, what was that? Inverse piezoelectric effect. Now what is this, what was the concept that was I was explaining there? Can you give the important point of this so that we can complete the oscillations here, or else the ultrasonics? So here what we mentioned here,
Magnetic fields వస్తాయి సార్.
ఏంటది?
ఇన్వర్స్ పిజోమాగ్నెటిక్ లో అది మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్స్.
కాదు, ఇన్వర్స్ piezoelectric effect. So to understand the piezoelectric effect, okay, or the inverse of this, first you understand piezoelectric effect, okay. First you go with this piezoelectric effect, okay. You start with this, okay. Now first you understand this concept. So in this concept what we are doing, we are taking a crystal, okay, and we are applying the electric field, we are applying the field, okay. Now due to sorry, okay, నిమిషం అండి.
ఫోర్స్ అన్నారు కదా సార్ ఇంతకు.
Okay, pressure apply చేయండి. Okay, you apply the pressure on the opposite faces. Okay, due to the pressure what we are going to see, we are going to get the charge generation on the opposite faces. Okay, this side and the back side here. Okay, we are going to get the charge generation. So you started with the pressure, so this is a pressure here, and you are going to get the electricity. Now reverse of this, okay, reverse in the sense, first you start with the electric field, you are going to give the electric field, and you are going to get the pressure here. Pressure in the sense, the vibrations you are going to observe. Okay, so the same thing you are going to observe in this particular circuit diagram. So first of all, you start with this concept. You start with this concept. Okay, so this is going to create the alternating voltages. So this side you are going to get the let us mark with some other color here. Okay, now between these two terminals, okay, so you are going to get the alternating voltages. Okay, here you are going to get the alternating voltages. So that particular alternating voltages are the electric fields. It is going to be connected to the crystal here. Okay, now here the reverse process you are going to experience. So what you are going to explain here, as you are applying the electric fields which are varying, as the frequency is varying, the crystal is going to vibrate. It is going to enlarge or compressed. Okay, so it is going to vibrate here. We will consider it as the vibrations. So it will experience the vibrations. Okay, depending on the frequency of this variable electric field or the EMF. Okay, that is a concept we are going to conclude in this topic here. Point అర్థమైందా? పాయింట్ అర్థమైందా? we started with the piezoelectric effect. దీన్ని అర్థం చేసుకోండి ఫస్ట్. ఓకే, సో వాట్ వీ హ్యాడ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ హియర్, వీఆర్ అప్లయింగ్ ద ప్రెజర్ ఫస్ట్. ఎక్కడ అప్లై చేస్తున్నారు? ఆపోజిట్ ఫేసెస్ ఆఫ్ ద క్రిస్టల్. సో ఇది అప్లై చేయడం వల్ల ఏమైంది? యు ఆర్ గెటింగ్ ద చార్జ్ జనరేషన్, అంటే ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది జనరేట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ ప్రాసెస్లో మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్నే మీరు ఇస్తున్నారు. ఓకే, ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ని మీరు క్రిస్టల్కి అప్లై చేస్తున్నారు. చేస్తుంటే ఏమవుతుంది? ఇట్ విల్ వైబ్రేట్ అంటున్నాం. ఓకే, మెకానికల్ వైబ్రేషన్స్ విల్ బి గోయింగ్ ఆన్ హియర్. సో దట్ పర్టికులర్ వైబ్రేషన్స్ విల్ బి హ్యావింగ్ ఎ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ. ఆ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఎందులో ఉంటుందంటే అల్ట్రాసోనిక్ రేంజ్లో ఉంటుంది అనమాట. సో ఆ వైబ్రేషన్స్ వల్ల మీకు అల్ట్రాసోనిక్ సౌండ్స్ అనేది క్రియేట్ అవుతున్నాయి మీకు అక్కడ. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ద పీజో ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఎఫెక్ట్. Okay, let me go with some. Okay, now let us go here. So this is a crystal without pressure. Okay, without pressure, what we are saying, there will be no electric field generated. But as you are applying the pressure, okay, so అంటే ఇది బాటంలో మీకు సపోర్ట్ ఉందనుకోండి, బాటంలో సపోర్ట్ ఉంది. ఓకే, సో ఇటు నుంచి అప్లై చేసినప్పుడు బాటం నుంచి కూడా సపోర్ట్ నుంచి మీకు ప్రెషర్ అప్లై అవుతుంది. సో నౌ హియర్ యూ కెన్ ఐడెంటిఫై హియర్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ డైపోల్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ ర్యాండమ్లీ ఓరియంటెడ్. ఇది ర్యాండమ్గా ఉన్నాయి, అటు ఇటు ఉన్నాయి ఇది. ఓకేనా, ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది ఇక్కడ ఒక డైరెక్షన్లో అలైన్ అయినాయి ఇప్పుడు, కాబట్టి దీనివల్ల రిజల్టెంట్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది జనరేట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో డ్యూ టు ప్రెషర్ వాట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ ఆన్ యాక్చువల్లీ, these randomly oriented dipoles are aligning in a single direction. Due to that, we are going to experience the electric field. So now here, what actually the application of the piezoelectric crystal means, if you want to generate the electricity or the electricity here, let me go with this one example I am going to give. Okay, so not regarding the ultrasonics, I am going to give the explanation for the piezo electric effect. We are going to utilize in another concept also. Okay, so where you are going to utilize this means, okay, now here we are not going to see any ultrasonics. Okay, now let us see here what is the application of the piezoelectric effect. Now suppose you are having the roadway. This is a road here, consider this as a road. Now here there are some vehicles are moving here. The number of vehicles are moving here. Some number of vehicles are moving. Okay, so they are moving. So now what we are going to do means, here we will place somewhere a crystal. We will place the piezoelectric crystal. This crystal we are going to place here somewhere. Okay, now on this we will place some arrangement so that these vehicles will travel like this, and it is going to apply pressure on the crystal. Okay, while passing through this particular crystal, this crystal is going to experience the pressure. Okay, so as the pressure is applied on the crystal, so there you are going to get the charge generation. So here you are going to take the wiring from this particular crystal here. Now this particular crystal and these wires, if you connect to some LEDs, connect to the LEDs. Okay, as the charges are being generated here, so this LED is going to glow. Okay, so now here, without any external power supply, just by the movement of the vehicles, you are going to create the electricity, and you are going to apply this particular thing to the street lights. Okay, you can connect these LEDs to street lights here. Okay, so even though if you are not generating any power externally, okay, so even in the remote areas, if you want to generate the electricity, so this is one of the important concept that you are going to utilize. If you try to utilize the piezoelectric effect, you try to get the piezoelectric crystal, and you go through this particular concept. ఓకే, ఆ క్రిస్టల్ మీ నుంచి సమ్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ చేయండి ఇక్కడ. సో దీని నుంచి వెహికల్స్ వెళ్ళేటట్టు అరేంజ్ చేయండి. ఓకే, సో యాజ్ electricity is going to be generated, so from this you take the wiring here and you connect to the LEDs, you connect to the LEDs here. Okay, then you are going to get the light energy. Okay, so this is one of the mini project. If you want, you can consider this as a mini project if required. Okay, that is one of the important concept that an engineer should know. Okay, so now here what we are going to do here, so we are not going to utilize this process, but we are going to do the reverse process, inverse process, inverse or converse process. So in the converse process, what we are doing, we will take the piezoelectric crystal and we will apply the electric field. We will apply the electric field here. Okay, the variable electric field, it should be a variable electric field. Okay, so due to that, what we are expecting here, so this particular crystal is going to be vibrating, and these vibrations will be having a frequency in the range of ultrasonics. Okay, ultrasonic waves we are going to get due to these vibrations, the high frequency vibrations we are going to experience. Okay, so that is about the piezoelectric effect in generation of ultrasonics. So any doubts regarding this concept? So if you want, you can, if you want, you can take the screenshot of this. I will enlarge this. So I'm going
Okay,
to,
sir.
okay, I'm going to utilize this material. Okay, this is the concept I'm going to write in the text also. So if you want, you can take the screenshot of this. So here this is a principle, here this is a principle, and here this is a construction, and here you are going to get the working of that. And here this is the introduction of the crystal here. The crystal, we try to identify the z-axis, x-axis and y-axis. మ్యూట్ చేయండి, మ్యూట్ చేయండి. Okay, now meanwhile, if you want to refer to the frequency, you can refer this particular equation that we had seen in the previous concept also. The same expression almost similar to the previous expression there. So here the frequency f can be given as, previously we had seen this as 1 by 2L root y by rho. Okay, now here there might be some multiples of this particular frequency. So you can take an integer here, take this as integer here, consider this as an integer here. Okay, just you need to take the multiples of that. So this is the frequency of the crystal vibrations here. Okay, so that is the concept, you can refer to this particular equation here. So simple thing here, we are going to take a transformer, and in the primary part we are going to place the crystal, and in the secondary we are going to utilize these two coils, and depending on that we are going to construct a oscillator. Okay, and here this is a DC supply, and this is going to create the variable voltages. Okay, it is going to have the variable voltages, and we will consider it as the oscillator here. So these variable voltages will be transferred through these plates to the crystal. Okay, and due to that we are going to experience the mechanical vibrations inside the crystal here, and those vibrations will be in the order of ultrasonics. And we are going to explain about the resonance also. Resonance in the sense what you can add those points means the vibration of the crystal and the vibrations of this particular oscillator. If these two are equal, then you are going to get the concept of resonance. Okay, so you are going to control this particular C value. So if you are going to increase or decrease, okay, now you will get a particular frequency, and that particular frequency, if it is equal to the vibrational frequency of the crystal here, then you will get the concept of resonance. Okay, if the frequency of vibrations of the crystal and the variable voltage that is produced, if those two are equal means you will get the resonance, and at that particular moment you will get the ultrasonics. Okay, at resonance you are going to get the ultrasonics with larger amplitudes. Okay, so that is the thing you need to consider. Okay, now here also you can take the screenshot if required. So this is 1 minute. Is this slide? Okay, not this one. Okay, now here take this particular part. So the continuation of the previous sheet. Continuation of the previous sheet. Okay, up to this part. Up to this part.
Up to disadvantage, sir.
ఏమన్నారు ఇక్కడ డిసడ్వాంటేజెస్ వరకు. So I had given two questions. What is optic axis and what are the things regarding X-cut crystal and Y-cut crystal? If you utilize X-cut crystal, what happens to the ultrasonics? And if you utilize the Y-cut crystal, what happens to the ultrasonics? Okay, two questions I had mentioned in the explanation. Okay, just wait.
సార్ ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఆఫ్లైన్ లో సబ్మిట్ చేయాలి సార్.
చేయండి, మండే నుంచి వస్తారు కదా, అప్పుడు సబ్మిట్ చేయండి.
సార్ మండే అంటే 1 డే బై డేనా రోజు సార్? ఇక
అది ఇంకా ఫైనల్గా మాకేం నోటీస్ రాలేదు కాబట్టి నేను ఏమని చెప్పలేను. మొత్తానికైతే కంటిన్యూషన్ అని అనుకోండి.
కాలేజ్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది సార్? అంటే ఎన్ని గంటలకు స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది సార్?
అది మీకు రేపు ఫైనల్, రేపు రావచ్చు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మీకు అది ఏంటనేది.
ఓకే
సార్ ల్యాబ్స్ సార్
ల్యాబ్స్ మండే నుంచి ఉంటాయి.
క్లాసెస్ మరి సార్
క్లాసెస్ ల్యాబ్ల టైంలో ఉండవు. ఈ 2 వీక్స్ ఉండవు, వచ్చే 2 వీక్స్ ఉండవు అన్నమాట.